Good morning, Steppers. It's Miss Sarah. How are you all? Happy Friday. So I thought I would share my favorite story with you all. Today is day 3 of being home, and I've missed reading to you all. So the story I'm going to share with you is called Miss Tizzy. And when I first read this book, it really warmed my heart. It made me think of the way I wanted to be known for, or remembered for. And it also made me think about the little things that you can do in your day to make it brighter for yourself, for you, or how you could brighten someone else's day. So think about maybe some of the story as you hear it, and how you could do it at home with your family or your neighbors. With distancing, of course. So, Miss Tizzy. Miss Tizzy always wore a purple hat with white flowers in it and high-top green tennis shoes. The neighbors thought her peculiar, but the children loved her. Miss Tizzy's house was pink and sat like a fat blossom in the middle of a street with white houses, white fences, and very neat flower gardens. Miss Tizzy had no fence at all, but she had flowers that grew everywhere and spilled over onto the sidewalks. Can you see her house and her sidewalk and all these flowers? Miss Tizzy let the children pick the flowers. Then she gave them clean glass jelly jars to put them in, and the children loved it. Miss Tizzy's big yellow cat, Hiram, slept in a window box in the middle of some red geraniums. Sometimes he climbed on her shoulders and hung there like a tired old fur piece. Look at that big cat just sitting on her neck. On Mondays, Miss Tizzy baked cookies. She let the neighborhood children put in the raisins and then licked the bowl while the cookies were baking. The children loved it. On Tuesdays, Miss Tizzy made puppets out of old socks. She made a puppet for each boy and girl. They made up their own stories and put on shows for Miss Tizzy. She laughed and clapped every time, and the children loved it. You could do that at home. Throw a sheet over a chair. And I bet your moms and dads might have some old socks that you could decorate. On Wednesday, Miss Tizzy played her bagpipes. She gave the children spoons and pans and let them pretend they were playing real drums. Each Wednesday, one child got to be special and play a silver penny whistle. Every child got a turn. They marched up and down the street with Miss Tizzy and her bagpipes leading the parade. Hiram sometimes marched along, and the children loved it. Maybe you could take your pots and pans on the porch and have a band or a performance. Skipping Thursday. On Thursday, Miss Tizzy gave the children clean white paper and crayons. They drew pictures of sunshine, butterflies, and they put them in Miss Tizzy's red wagon and delivered them all over town to people who had stopped smiling and had grown too tired to come out of their houses anymore. Hiram rode in front of the wagon with a red ribbon around his neck, and the children loved it. It's totally something you could do. Find some paper, even paper out of the recycling, and draw a nice picture on it. And maybe leave it on your neighbor's doorstep or in their mailbox. On Fridays, Miss Tizzy opened her trunk and they all played dress up. There were hats and with feathers and hats with bows. There were baseball caps and straw hats with bright red bands. Everyone wore a hat. Miss Tizzy put on a lace shawl and served pink lemonade in her best china cups. The children loved it. Do you have special cups that you use maybe just for parties or holidays, you could take those out and make tonight a little special. And wear your best dress or suit. On Saturdays, Miss Tizzy put roller skates on her green tennis shoes and went up and down the sidewalks. The children came out of the white houses and joined her. They made a roller skate train holding on to Miss Tizzy's long skirt. Hiram is usually the caboose. The children made train sounds, and Miss Tizzy was an engineer. She never scolded the children for being too loud, and the children loved it. On Sundays, when the day was over, the children stretched out on bright quilts in Miss Tizzy's backyard and looked up at the stars. The tree frogs croaked their summer sounds as Miss Tizzy sang songs about the moon, slightly off key. The children didn't care. They loved it. One day, Miss Tizzy took off her purple hat with a white flower and laid it on the window seat. Then she took off her high-top green tennis shoes and placed them under her white bed. Miss Tizzy lay down on her feather mattress. She was very sick. Hiram left his window box and curled up at her feet. He did not purr anymore. The doctor came and went. He shook his head and looked very serious. The children were sad. They didn't know what to do. They missed their grown-up friend. Finally, they had an idea. On Monday, they baked cookies with raisins and brought them to the pink house. On Tuesday, they stood in the yard and held up puppets to her window. They put on a puppet show just for Miss Tizzy. On Wednesdays, they brought pans and spoons and played a soft little drumming sound just outside the door. On Thursdays, they drew pictures with orange and red crayons and they put them in Miss Tizzy's mailbox. On Fridays, they put on funny hats and left a tea tray at the front door. They left Hiram a bowl of cool milk. On Saturdays, they put a brand new pair of skates in a big purple box with a purple ribbon on top and took them to Miss Tizzy. On Sundays, when the sun went away, the children stood underneath Miss Tizzy's window. They sang all the moon songs she had taught them. Miss Tizzy's hat glowed in the moonlight. She was having a peaceful dream. She heard the children singing, and she loved it. The end. So my friends, Miss Tizzy, she taught all those children a really important lesson. She instilled really great memories, and the children were able to make others happy too. So I hope you all are having fun at home. I know it must be really hard to be home all day long for multiple days, but like Miss Tizzy's story, you too can find a little something to do for your mom or for your dad or maybe your neighbor. And you all are really great brainstormers. I know we have had some great brainstorming times at school. So think about ways that you could maybe brighten someone else's day or have a little fun thinking outside of the box. I hope you have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Saturday and it's supposed to be sunny, so get outside in your backyards or maybe go for a walk. Don't forget about the Magic Forest. You all are so lucky that you're close, so you can maybe take a walk over. And sending you all my love. Mwah, I miss you.